I was just wondering when you knew you wanted to sing your own songs and that you couldn't imagine anybody else singing them and feeling it the way you do.
I knew I had to sing my own songs when I couldn't imagine anybody else singing them. And I was a singer by sort of default, because I was just starting to write songs, put chords together, put lyrics on it, and I was starting to make observations that didn't belong to anybody else, and it would have felt dead wrong. But so I caught up. It's about running changes. I was putting records out while I was learning how to sing. I'm still a major label recording artist putting music out while I'm learning to use an MPC, because I want to learn how to sequence just drums. Because I want to take a Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, Detroit sort of drum thing, and I want to put tunes on top, because so far it's just samples. So my new thing that I have to study to get to is to find that sort of, and how do I find a way that's authentic to go on top of it and put a song on top? Because so far it's just these boom, boom, doom, doo, doo, boom, boom, doo, doo, doo. Whatever the things are. What if you could take that bass and that kick, kick and that hat and the way it's late and the way it just goes boom, and put something on top of it and little lyric change, chord changes and lyrics. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
We are entertainers, and we serve a particular purpose for society, and that's something I always struggle with, is whether I should write political songs, whether I should write happy songs, whether I should just write something that someone can cry to or laugh to.
Wait about 4 weeks.
I
The
know.
answer will be apparent.
Exactly.
And that's I'm sorry,
I just wanted to know, especially in this time, this critical time, what you think your role is as a public figure.
I feel like somebody came to me in the middle of the night and asked me what I wanted to talk about, and I sort of spoke in my sleep, and now this is what's happened. These are great questions that I have answers to, because I think about it all the time. And this gives you a distinct advantage as songwriters, is that nobody knows right now how they feel about anything. How could you really be expected to write a song about something when nobody knows what's going on or how they feel? I think part of that has to do with a cultural climate that is sort of unique, but a lot of it has to do with the decades. So we're in the 8th year of the decade. Well, you look at 2008. Well, what's coming in and what's going out and what's coming in? Well, you don't know yet, but look at 1998. What was going out? Boy bands were sort of beginning to fizzle out. It was hot for boy bands. Then around 2000, 2001, bam, Norah Jones, me, Jack Johnson, Coldplay. Foom, 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 foom. We want to hear things that really address a musical element and an emotional element. 1988, who was the hottest bands? Motley Crue, Winger, Warrant. I loved them all. But about 1990, 1991 comes Kurt Cobain and Nirvana and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Mudhoney and Screaming Trees, and everybody goes, this is who we are for the next 10. We are really in this moment right now, not just politically or culturally. Musically, we are not quite sure what we want to hear, but we know we're sick of what's out there now. So you have this unbelievable ability that you don't normally get to figure out who you're going to be and how you're going to change the game. Because when I came out in 2001, and Dave Matthews Band and David Gray had made it, but when I came out in 2001, 2002 and 2003, if you were a male singer-songwriter, you were in the door. You were getting signed. So you now have the opportunity that I had 10 years ago to figure out, look at what's out there now, look at what's happening, how do I want to respond to that, and how do I want to put something out that's going to cleanse people's ears, and they go, oh, yes. And I think it's going to come back to some sort of real supreme sort of dignity and authenticity. And I think it depends on, I don't want to say it depends on who wins the election, but I think it depends on how people feel about the next 4 years. And I think that people aren't, everything is on hold. How to feel, how to react. So people are in a real funny place right now. And I think if you could write a song about that, Imagine attacking that right now, putting a song out about, I don't know what I feel. All I know is I'm not quite scared, but I'm not quite excited, and I'm just sitting on my hands. Everybody's just sitting on their hands, so how could you be expected to write a song and connect to people when people are sort of disconnected at the moment? But it's wide open for you. You know, it's wide open, and I think that's exciting.
I just finished a CD, and I'm just getting, ready to launch, I guess, like the marketing campaign to get the music out there.
And what year in Berklee are you?
This is my last semester. So,
Okay, good.
Yeah, so finished it. Now, as a starting artist, when you first started, what did you find to very, very helpful to market your music, to get it out there, besides the obvious stuff like MySpace, Facebook?
Good songs.
Good songs.
Good songs. That's
Okay.
it. That's it. Good songs. I promise. I promise. You get on stage and you play a good song. Like, I mean a good song. Not a song that technically has all its body parts, but I mean a banging song, a song. You will have people waiting outside the door. Some of them may have business cards, some of them may just have bad weeks. They just want to talk to you. A good song will connect all of the time. And that's the difference between somebody coming up to you at Berklee, if you play a good melody, you play a good solo, you're in a good ensemble, in a good calf show, and somebody comes up and they go, hey, come here. That was great, man, that was great. So, man, we could get together and play sometime. What was that thing you were doing? What was it? Will you show me that? That's all very predatory, or taking. Whether they want to take a little bit and just play with you, or take it all and just play what you've got and send you home. It's very predatory. And something happens when you play a good song for people who aren't musicians. And they come up to you and they go, thank you. Thank you so much. My dad just died, or I just had. They will open their hearts to you right in front of you. And you're still sweating and drinking a Gatorade, and they're going, my dad had a stroke, and I don't even know what to do. But listen, that song, and they'll give you a hug. That's a hell of a lot better than, was that a Mixolydian? And I do want to answer your question. It really is about the song. When someone says, should I get a tattoo? I'm like, is it a good tattoo? I don't know. How good is the product? And whether it comes out on a cell phone or it comes out on some new product that hasn't been made yet. By the way, I will be introducing the new iPod at the end of this. It doesn't matter. People are always going to need a new song. You are technology proof. While people are taking cardboard boxes with picture frames and paperweights out of their office every 6 to 8 months because of technology changed, people no longer have Napster, now it's Verizon, Cast, or it's on BlackBerry. People who write songs are always going to be safe because they're always going to need what you have.
How do you do it? Like, how do you, with all that pressure, still make great music?
Well, I don't think the two are related. I am technically rich and famous, but what I have and what Berklee's given me and what practice and dedication has given me is that fact that I am not rich from being famous. And I think that's a huge distinction. When you're rich from being famous, you are theirs. You are a slave to that thing. That's where you go, I love myself some vodka here at Pure Nightclub for the next 20 minutes, and I pick up my check, you know. My musical experience, my musical life has never intersected with this sort of public application of media and press and stuff. Almost to my surprise, there were times when I felt so much heat on me from that other sort of glare that I went, are people going to want to come to the show? Are people they must be sick of the pictures of me just walking around or ducking my head or hiding behind backpacks. It's got to be over. It's got to be over. And I would go on tour, and there'd be 25,000 people in Houston and not a single mention of it. And I'll also tell you this, in terms of media, I went through an experience that killed my superego, murdered it dead, stabbed 47 times. John Mayer, as in John Mayer's concept of John Mayer, is dead. Dead. And I miss it, because it was fun to be like, I'm pretty much the shit. But what was that? What was that image? What did that feel? What did I get out of that? I got the sensation of people thinking I was cool. But who's to say that even the sensation of people thinking I was cool was real? I just meant I went to blogs where people said, oh, I like this guy, and I shut it off, and I went, hey, people like me. Or you go to a blog, and they go, this guy's a douchebag, and you go, oh, God, I'm a douchebag. None of it ever really mattered. None of it ever really mattered. And I have this new saying, if it happened on the internet, it didn't happen. The internet's just the internet. You don't go somewhere on the internet. Hey, go here on the internet. Well, your ass is in a chair. You're not going anywhere. You know? So what's happened to me in terms of media stuff, which never killed the music has never been at risk. I've never felt it, which, again, to my surprise, you go on stage, you walk around, people go, I love your music. People go, hey, John, and I'm like, don't tell me. And they go, I just want to tell you how much I love your music. I think you're the best. Bye. And I go, wow. So does that mean that what I think people think about me is always wrong? And the answer is yes. What you think people think about you is always wrong. No matter how wrong it is, it's always either a little bit wrong or all the way wrong. And all you can do, and all I can do now, is live right here and right here. Not what somebody wrote and what comes up in a Google News alert. I'm not slave to comments anymore. You know, too many people have comments. And by the way, most of these people have comments. If I ever went to their house with some sort of tracking device on what their IP number was, and I'm like, the door would open up and I'd be expecting to see something out there like this. Oh, hey, what are you, 9? So I heard that you said that I was a douchebag. Oh, you want me to sign that for you? Yeah, we can get a picture. We can get a picture. It's not really happening. All that happens is the people you meet, the friends you have, the lovers you have, your fans, the people who exist in your immediate space. You cannot control what happens in the ether. None of it's real. None of it.